Help! I'm an emotional eater. Maybe you have experienced being an emotional eater and you think you can't stop because I'm sad today and I can't stop because I'm happy today. Those kinds of things where emotions make us snack or make us overeat. So the term emotional eater is quite common for people who are dealing with obesity, being overweight, eating disorders, things like that, where people think that somehow if my emotions are affected, then I can't stop myself from eating that bowl of ice cream or that tub of ice cream or that one cookie and the 10 cookies more. And that I'm an emotional eater means I'm sad, and so I'm going to use the food to make me happy because food can make you happy. There are definitely chemicals in our brain that say, I'm happy when I eat this sugar, and it's a chemical addiction. This is how I see it, is a chemical addiction for me. That why I can say I was a sugar addict, I was a carb addict, and I'm recovering from that. So when I say emotional eating now, for me, it means I'm experiencing an emotion and I'm trying to deal with that emotion through food. Now, Dr. Robert Siways was very instrumental in helping me comprehend and understand my own carb addiction, my own sugar addiction. He says this quote, which every time you snack, it is an emotional event, which means basically we're always, if we're snacking at all, it's an emotional event, which is, I mean, some people would argue with that and say, no, I need to eat because otherwise I'm going to faint or something. So that's his view on this. Whether it is true, everyone has to understand and figure that out for themselves. For me, yes, when I'm bored, which is sort of an emotion, right? Or sad or unhappy or even happy and excited and wanting to celebrate, those all have emotions. We are emotional all day long. We run on emotions in so many ways. The emotion is helping to propel us forward to go and grab that thing. But we don't normally eat a steak or an egg or a salad or, some nuts necessarily with, well, nuts, yes. Nuts, I could snack on nuts. But, the steak or the chicken or the salad, we're not normally eating those when we're unhappy. Oh, I broke up with my boyfriend. I'm going to go eat a bowl of salad. No, we say, the stereotype is you go and eat ice cream when you break up with your boyfriend. So it's usually carbs that we want as comfort food during those emotional events. So if we see ourselves as not fighting that, we are emotional, we are human. So for me to realize that the root issue is I am addicted to the sugar. The sugar wants more sugar. The more sugar I give it, the more it wants. And it's this downward spiral. So when I starting to understand dealing with the carb addiction, the sugar addiction, then the emotional issues sort of went to the side because I was analyzing it. I was sort of putting my emotions aside, bringing in my brain power and my cognitive functioning to say, what do I need right now? Well, I don't actually need any food. I ate an hour ago. I ate a nice big meal an hour ago. Why am I going and wanting something to eat right now? So yes, am I sad? Am I happy? Am I bored? Usually for me, it was boredom. Since I've been working from home for 7 years, I got to get up and do something every hour or so. And what did I do? I got into the habit of going to the kitchen. But I was basically just needing to get up out of my seat, do some exercises, do something different. So I just got into some bad habits. So for me, when I was losing the weight and understanding this carb addiction, sugar addiction thing, I saw that the emotional eating part of it wasn't a bad thing. I am an emotional eater, and I'll probably always be, and we probably all are emotional eaters in a lot of ways. And to say, oh, I am an emotional eater and that's a bad thing. Our emotions are with us all the time. We can't cut that off. So it's just understanding to say, that's okay. Yes, I'm an emotional eater, but that has, in a lot of ways, nothing to do with this whole other issue of the carb addiction, the sugar addictions, and that the sugar is craving sugar. So for me, if I right now, the emotional eating side, like now that I'm in maintenance mode since I reached my goal, weight, emotional eating for me, I guess it's just not an issue anymore. I don't say, oh, I'm an emotional eater. Well, it's just not part of my vocabulary anymore. So I think if we can just take the stigma away from saying I'm an emotional eater, because it's basically saying I'm human and I like to eat because I need to eat. So that's my take on that emotional eating terminology. So if you want to comment below, feel free, and like and share this video. Thanks so much for watching.